When people talk about artificial intelligence, most conversations immediately focus on loss, which jobs disappear, which roles get replaced, which skills suddenly stop mattering. That framing is understandable, but it misses the most important part of the story, because the real question isn't who loses first, it's who actually wins in an AI-driven economy. And the answer is not what most people expect. It isn't programmers. It isn't executives. And it isn't the people who simply work the hardest or stay the busiest. The real winners are people who understand systems. Artificial intelligence does not replace workers directly. It replaces processes. And the people who control processes are the people who control outcomes. To understand why, you have to zoom out and look at how work actually happens. Inside every organization, work follows a simple pattern. Information comes in, decisions get made, actions go out. Every role exists somewhere inside that flow. Some jobs focus on gathering information, some focus on executing actions, and some sit in the middle, shaping decisions. AI dramatically accelerates this entire flow. It moves information faster. It generates options instantly. It reduces friction between steps that used to slow teams down. But AI still doesn't decide what actually matters. It doesn't understand priorities. It doesn't understand trade-offs, and it doesn't understand consequences. Someone still has to decide which problems are worth solving, which outputs can be trusted, and which decisions carry real risk. That person is where leverage lives. This is why the biggest gains from AI are not limited to tech companies or startups. They're happening inside ordinary businesses. Marketing teams are using AI to test ideas faster without hiring more people. Operations teams are using AI to identify bottlenecks before they turn into expensive failures. Managers are using AI to spot patterns that used to take weeks of reports and meetings to uncover. The advantage doesn't come from knowing how to code. It comes from knowing where friction exists inside a system and how to remove it. That's why some people experience AI as a threat, while others experience it as an amplifier. One group feels exposed. The other group feels empowered. One group worries about being replaced. The other group decides what gets replaced. The difference is not intelligence, it's perspective. People who lose leverage tend to focus on tasks. They focus on what they personally do each day. People who gain leverage focus on outcomes. They focus on what the system produces. Tasks are easy to automate. Outcomes are not. This is where many people get stuck. They try to protect their current role instead of understanding the system around it. They optimize for short-term safety instead of long-term leverage. But systems always outlive roles. Job titles change, tools change, responsibilities shift. The underlying system remains. The safest place to be in an AI economy is not above the technology, and it's not competing directly with it. It's between the technology and the decision, because AI can generate outputs, but it cannot fully understand context. It cannot judge downstream consequences. It cannot take responsibility for outcomes, and it cannot be held accountable when things go wrong. That responsibility still belongs to humans, and the people who develop that judgment do not get automated away. They become harder to replace, not easier. Artificial intelligence will continue to eliminate tasks, and it will continue to reward people who think in systems rather than checklists. That isn't hype. That isn't optimism. That is how leverage has always worked, long before AI existed. If you want to understand how power, work, and money are shifting in real time, subscribe. Because the future isn't automated, it's directed.